Hello all my beautiful little unicorns and welcome back to my channel. If this is indeed the first time that you're on my channel, my name is Vanessa Somuayina and I'd like to welcome you into the fam. So guys, today's tarot and oracle card readings are super special, personalized, as well as innovative. Because not only am I going to help you all to discover and calculate your personal year number, but you'll also receive a very own reading that's tailored to your personal year number's needs. And don't panic you guys, this is a 2-video upload. So simultaneously to publishing this video, I have published another video where I explain to you in great detail how to calculate your personal year number. I've also created a free downloadable PDF that can help you with these calculations as well as figure out what your entire life cycle looks like from your first till your last breath, as well as the general meanings of all of the personal year numbers. So that video is of course linked in the description box, pinned to the top of the comment section, as well as inserted right here. So if you clicked on this video first and you want to figure out what your personal year number is and what it means, then like this video first, of course, because you know, A for effort. Then feel free to open up another tab where you can figure out exactly what your personal year number is, so you can then return back to this video and receive your very own personal reading that is based on your personal year number. Guys, this is a really cool opportunity for you to learn another number within your numerology chart, so make sure that you make use of it, as it gives you detailed explanations as to why certain years in your life turned out the way that they did, and understanding what your personal year number is, as well as having that lifetime chart where you can see each and every upcoming year, will help you to flawlessly plan out your life and all of the big decisions that may be causing some anxiety or stress for you. Because after all, the whole point of my channel is to support you as well as provide you with a lot of healing as well as calming content. This is a toxicity-free zone on the internet. And if you can appreciate that and you like the vibe that we got going on here, make sure that you consider adding my channel to your subscription list. I have regularly been posting numerology, astrology, and tarot content for several years now, and I'd love to take you with me on this journey moving forward. So I just want to quickly point out that when you're calculating your personal year number, you decide which year that you'd like to know more of. So for me, the year 2022 is a personal year number 5. So I would tune into the segment of this video that corresponds to the personal year number 5 to really understand what 2022 means for me, how I can overcome challenges, as well as be the healthiest, most thriving version of myself. So depending on the year that interests you and you would like to learn more of, your personal year number will of course vary, as it is your personal year number. So feel free to use the timestamps and tune into the segment of the video that is dedicated to the personal year number that you received. And guys, don't worry, you guys know my numerology videos are super comprehensive, they're simple. You don't have to be a mathematician to understand any of my numerology content. Quite frankly speaking, I struggled with math in school myself, so please do not be intimidated by this process, as I have created a step-for-step explanation for you that is foolproof. So yeah, you guys, that is it. I'm getting into all of the personal year numbers, starting with the number 1 through the number 9. All of the timestamps are below, they are pinned to the comment section. We are good to go. So now all you need to do is click your timestamp and I'll catch you during your personal year numbers prediction. Hello all my gorgeous personal year number 1s. Are you excited to get into your reading so we can figure out exactly what's going on within this personal year number of yours and what this means for the future? Because I'm so excited for you to figure out exactly what's coming next and for you to receive all of the relevant information about your personal year number. Now, as a personal year number 1, you are at the beginning of your next 9-year cycle. So you are in a time and phase of your life of major changes, and it's important for you to keep your eyes open for new opportunities. So that's perfect that we're getting into this reading for you so you can figure out what's coming towards you. First and foremost, we've got the Ace of Wands, which corresponds perfectly with what we just spoke about. Now, the Ace of Wands, as every ace in the tarot, signifies a new beginning. And with you being in your personal year 1, I can see that there's a lot of ambition and willpower that's here for you. So it's important that you take hold of that. It's important that you feed into your ambition and your willpower, that you use the strength and energy that you have present right now, because not every personal year and not every cycle in your life is going to be filled with this much energy. So it's important that you make the most of it. I see here in the Ten of Cups that your personal life and your relationships are going to bring you a great deal of fulfillment, and I see abundance for you, all of my personal year number ones. Now, this is a super positive sign. This is actually one of the best cards you can receive, especially emotionally speaking, and when it comes to platonic and romantic relationships, as it shows that building and starting a family is possible, solidifying relationships that are already there, and just overall feeling really happy with your private life and the connections that you have in it. Let's see what we've got next for you. We've got the Five of Cups. So I do see here that for your personal year one, there is a lot of dwelling though. So even though everything is going so well for you, I can definitely see that there's a little bit of anxiety and insecurity about moving forward because everything is going so amazingly well. You're asking yourself if it's ever going to end, or if this is just super temporary. So there are some thoughts where you're unsure if people really like you and adore you as much as they say that they do. But it's important for all my beautiful personal year ones to remember that those who are around you and who are kind to you, who are showing you that they care, they really do. It's not an act, trust me. I know that sometimes fears and insecurities can kick in, but it's important that you don't allow for them to have the strength to make you feel insecure about who's in your life at this point in time. Next up, we've got Radha. Radha shows me your soul flame being here in your personal year cycle one. And I do see here that there is relationship healing that can happen. So if you are in a relationship, know that being in your personal year one shows that you can repair relationships that may have been harmed or broken. These can also be platonic relationships that you have with friends and family members. And if you are single, all of my beautiful personal year ones, know in Radha that you may just meet the one during this year cycle, as we have the Ten of Cups and Radha within your reading. And the one is someone who allows you to rediscover a part of yourself that you've maybe put to rest for a long time. This could be a very creative part of you or a part of you that you've missed since childhood, and reconnecting with that is just really going to make you feel like you are with the right person, and you're going to know that this is a relationship that's meant to be. Next up, we've got Cernunnos. So Cernunnos shows us some divine life force here for you. I can see that expressing your driving passion is one of the most important things really for your personal year one. And I also see that sensual and sexual powers are increased. So things in the bedroom, things that you're doing privately, okay, there's a lot of excitement that's going on. And I definitely see fearlessness to try new things. I definitely see a really spicy time. So I will be talking about my singles in just a second. But for those of you who are in a relationship, know here that Cernunnos as well as Radha shows us that you're trying new things sensually and behind closed doors. Maybe you're looking into different type of fun activities, even kinks, things like that. And I do definitely see here that your personal year one is great for any relationships that are already existing within your life. Now, for all of you who are singles, I want you to know here within Cernunnos that being very open-minded, especially when it comes to life partners, especially when it comes to being with another person romantically and intimately, is something that makes you so attractive, and that everyone is going to remember who has had the privilege to be intimate with you emotionally or physically, because they'll just remember, wow, this person was confident and this person was open to so many fun things. Next up within Lady Portia, I can see here that in this personal year cycle one, you need to do what feels right, and I see that there is an important lesson that is unfolding for you. I want to figure out a little bit more information about this important lesson. I'll be using the Pastel Journey Tarot deck, which is about to restock, by the way, for all of you who have been waiting and who have pre-ordered this beautiful tarot deck that I published. I'll leave the link in the description box so you can check it out, but it is going to be back very, very soon. So let's see what important lesson lesson we have. We've got the Four of Swords, so a lesson of not being afraid to be alone. And the Seven of Wands. Okay, understanding that it's better to be alone than to be in a room full of people who don't really have your back and who you don't truly trust. It is a lot better to be by yourself than to be in a situation where you're with people who you just know don't have your best interest at heart. And I see here in the Nine of Pentacles that learning this lesson during your personal year cycle 1 is maybe something that you even learned 9 years ago during the last personal year cycle 1. And I see in the Nine of Pentacles that every time you weed out quantity over quality, you will find that things in the earthly realms with your career, with your ambitions, just go so much more smoothly. And I see here in the Princess of Pentacles that because there are new things that are going on for you professionally speaking, it is really the healthiest thing for you to disconnect from anyone who you don't feel is empowering you in your personal life, and to simply only focus on the relationships that bring you more of that fire and that allow you to take action and initiative. Because your personal year cycle 1 is all about those new beginnings and major changes. So you have to be able to keep your eyes open rather than have people around you who are only interested in drama and gossip or anything like that. So I definitely see that removing yourself from anything that's drama adjacent or related is what your personal year cycle 1 is all about. Next up, we've got your tribe, your vibe. Yes, connecting with people who are on the same page, maybe even in the same personal year. So definitely calculate the personal year of the people around you. Those people who you spend the most time with, that can give you a good explanation as to why certain people are the way that they are, or why they're going through certain things in their life at this point in time. So feel free to calculate the personal year number of everyone surrounding you. You'd be surprised at how much insight you will receive. But do know here that linking up with other people who are in the same personal year cycle or in a similar one that is compatible with yours is the best space to be in for you. Next up, we've got There's Always a Way, as well as Knowing Your Worth. Oh, I just love these depictions from the Wild Muse Oracle deck. It feels so surreal that I'm able to use my own decks within my readings. So here within There's Always a Way, I do see here that your personal year 1 is actually showing you a lot of paths and ways how you can get to your goals, whereas in other personal years, you may have felt like there are some dead-end streets, but personal year 1 for you is allowing you to see so many more opportunities and ways to get to your goals than you usually would, because you're very open-minded. And it's important for you also to not choose to ignore opportunities. Here within Know Your Worth, there are some great opportunities that are present in your personal year cycle 1. And if you ignore these opportunities that have been clearly put in front of you for you to take action on, then they may not present themselves again until the start of your next 9-year cycle, so until 9 years later. So it's very important within your personal year 1 that you take the initiative, that you are independent, and that you claim all the opportunities that are here for you, my beautiful personal year 1s, because they may not show up again till the next decade potentially. So you want to really go for things during this personal year cycle. So empower yourself to do so. Leave a little money bag emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you're going to go for it, to manifest it, to put out that confident energy, to claim this reading and let everyone know that you're in your personal year 1 and you're going to take the lead. You're going to take those steps forward and take action. So I'd like to thank you for being here, spending this divine time and space with me. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy and appreciate how interactive and personalized all of these readings on my channel are. I'd like to thank you for being here and know that I'm sending you so much love, and I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming predictions. Hello, all my beautiful friends and signs of the zodiac who are currently in their personal year number 2. I hope that you're excited to get into figuring out exactly what this personal year means for you and what it's going to bring for you and your life and your future. So let's get into it, all of my beautiful personal year number 2s. I want you to know right off the bat that this is a year that is meant to rejuvenate your energy and also give you a fresh outlook. We have a card that popped right out of the pile in the Five of Swords. I can see that there is a temptation here to overthink and also to try to overcompensate. But we also have the Temperance card that shows up for you, which shows moderation as well as balance as being important. So you may feel inclined during your personal year 2 to feel as though you're not doing enough. And let me explain why to you. That is because you just went through your personal year cycle 1. And that is a year of leadership, of new beginnings, of taking action, initiative, defining your goals. So then making the transition into your personal year 2 can sometimes feel like you're slowing down. It can feel as though you're not doing enough. But actually, funny enough, personal year 2 is actually a year that's symbolic of choosing a slower pace than the previous year and remembering that it's okay to take a time out. It's okay to do everything in moderation, to find your own personal equilibrium and center. And this is actually a personal year for you to rejuvenate your energies. It's important for you to focus on, of course, your business and your personal relationships, but in a way that is kind and understanding and that gives you time to process. Next up, we've got the Spirit of Rings. So in the Spirit of Rings, I do see here that you're very much focused on tying up any loose ends during your personal year cycle 2, especially in business. I see a lot of productivity and endurance that's here for you, despite the fact that this is a personal year in which you may feel like you're not quite doing enough. So you have to detach from these thoughts because they're simply not true, and it's simply not helping you in the long run. It's just giving you more pressure than you need. So we've got the King of Swords as well as the Seven of Wands. So let's start off with the King of Swords. Now, the King of Swords is obviously a snack. I mean, I think we can all agree on that. But what does this have to do with your personal year 2? Now, if you are single, I definitely want you to know here that in the King of Swords, we have someone older, mature, someone who has air sign energy, right? Because the Suit of Swords corresponds to the element of air. So think strong Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini placements. They're social, they're very creative and adventurous, and they know what they want. So they have divine masculine energy, and they've got predominantly just that. As you know, we've got the King, we've got the Suit of Swords, which is a masculine suit, and I do see here within the Seven of Wands that they're very persistent in their pursuit of you, and you will meet this person during your personal year 2 if you're single. Now, if you are in a relationship, I want you to know here that the King of Swords and the Seven of Wands definitely represents a side of you where you are taking initiative and where you're giving yourself credit for your intelligence, finally, especially if you always kind of downplay how smart that you are, or you sometimes tone it down to not make others feel uncomfortable in the workspace or maybe even in your personal life. I definitely see here that you are embracing and empowering yourself to just show how intelligent and quick that you really are and how articulate that you can be, as I see here within the King of Swords. Now let's move further into your reading. We've got the Four of Cups. By the way, leave a little bubble tea emoji below in the comment section if you're currently in your personal year 2, just to represent, of course, the personal year 2 and also to manifest blessings into this personal year. I love the Pastel Journey Tarot deck. Guys, it's going to be back in stock very soon. A lot of you have pre-ordered it, so the link is below if you love this deck just as much. The Four of Cups shows me that for this personal year, there is definitely a side of you that is just not happy with your accomplishments. There is a side of you that is a perfectionist, that wants more, that wants things to be perfect. And I see here within the Hanged Man that if you're not careful with that, that's actually going to keep you complacent. That's going to stop you from moving forward because everything will need to be perfect before you want to put it out. Everything will need to live up to almost unrealistic standards standards before you feel comfortable putting it out into the public, whether that be personal projects, hobbies, whether that be work projects that need to be done, and then you risk being late. So all of my personal year twos, it's important for you to choose to put things out when they're good. They don't need to be perfect. Keep that in mind. The Seven of Cups shows me that you've got a lot of options, a lot of choices, especially when it comes to love too. You've got options to break up, to divorce if you are in a committed relationship, because your personal year two brings a lot of different options romantically. I mean, we spoke about one of them, which is the King of Swords. It's definitely here for you. And furthermore, you also have options in how harsh you decide to be on yourself. And sometimes it's important for us to just remember these things, right? Sometimes the best pieces of advice are the simplest ones. They're the most mundane, straightforward ones, the ones that we've forgotten, that are hidden in plain sight. Now we've got the Death card and the Two of Wands. First and foremost, don't panic. If you're new to tarot, know that the Death card doesn't actually mean literal death. So you don't have to worry about your personal year two being a dangerous one when it comes to being exposed to harm or anything like that. I want you to know here that the Death card is actually a card of fresh beginnings. The Death card corresponds to the number 13, and its astrological correspondence is Scorpio, and it shows a very sensual side of you that's coming forth. And furthermore, with Scorpio being represented in the Death card, I want you to know here that we've got a very intense and magnetic, powerful energy. And I see here within the Two of Wands that your personal year two is really in your hands. It's about what you decide to do with it. The Two of Wands shows that there has to be decision making. You've got the whole world in your hands right here, but what direction do you go in? Do you go left? Do you go right? Do you choose the red pill or the blue pill? That's really what your personal year two is all about, because you make or break this year. You are in complete control of whether you remember this year to be a positive one, whether you remember your personal year two as one in which you felt as though your life really took on an amazing kind of vibe and turn, or whether you end up in a situation where you feel as though it was a difficult year cycle. Next up, we've got Lady Nada. Now, in Lady Nada for you, I can see here that you are awakening to more acceptance, and you're giving and receiving in balance in this personal year cycle too, which is great, because when there isn't reciprocity, that can not only be hurtful but also damaging to you. Next up, we've got soul expansion as well as divine healing. So honoring your sensitivity is a big one. Know here that during your personal year two, this is a year in which you feel comfortable asking others for help. That's one thing that I see in Lady Nada. You're choosing to feel okay with asking others for help. I see that also in the Two of Wands. And furthermore, honoring your sensitivity and your intuition is a big part of this personal year. And your intuition is at an all-time high in personal year two. So trust that inner voice in order to make decisions. Within your soul expansion, I can see that the more you trust your intuition, the more you will find that your consciousness is expanding, because you're no longer kind of held back by things that are mundane, that are very earthly. You understand connections between all things, even if those connections are unseen, and you understand a little bit more about how the world works. But the more you understand and know and figure out, the more you also realize that you don't know anything at all yet. We don't know anything at all yet as human beings. I see here within the Lemon that we've got strong cleansing energy during your personal year two. And here in connectivity to the Death card, it just shows that we've got some strong cleansing in the sense of wiping the slate clean and clear. So if there are strained relationships in your life with siblings, for example, or if you recognize someone who has this fatherly figure energy like the King of Swords, or the relationship that you have with your biological father is strained, know that your personal year two might surprise you, because you'll be able to revamp and restart the connection and clear the slate and forgive. And I see here within the Nasturtium Scorpidium, that what your guides in the universe want you to know is that overall your personal year 2 is a victorious one. Your personal year 2 is also correspondent to the number 44. So if you continuously see this master number or just synchronicities of 444, this shows that you're going towards stability, that you're creating something with longevity, and to not feel like it's weird for you to take some steps back and for this personal year cycle to be slower than other ones. That's completely normal during personal year 2. So don't freak out. Don't be hard on your accomplishments and your forward movement. Now, all of my beautiful souls within their personal year 2, I hope that you enjoyed this super fun, innovative, and interactive reading. Give this video a thumbs up if you did, to let me and of course the algorithm know. And furthermore, don't forget to comment below your bubble tea emoji or even a little swords emoji, as we did have a lot of sword energy within your reading. Now, all of my beautiful souls within their personal year 2, know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming Pick a Card tarot readings. Hello, all my beautiful souls experiencing their personal year cycle 3. Welcome to your reading. I hope that you're enjoying this super personalized and interactive type of YouTube content. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it. That way you can let me and the algorithm know that this is what you're here for, that you're excited to figure out what's coming towards you in your personal year 3. So as a base vibration, this year is one of socializing and enjoying life, and it's also one for you to remember to be grateful for what you've been given. And I see here within the star that your personal year 3 is going to bring a lot of hope to you. So if you've been in a difficult situation with your health, mentally or physically, or there's someone around you, think a family member who has been struggling with their health, know here that during personal year 3, things are going to be looking up, and you can see things from a little bit more of a harmonious perspective of understanding that, of course, mindset matters, but at the same time, it's also important for you to be grateful for what is still here, even if things aren't perfect. I also see that old friends may come into your life to try to rekindle the relationship, and an ex may be trying really hard to get back in your life. I see here with the Queen of Rings that this is someone who has a little bit more feminine energy or is rooted in that. So there's someone who's connected to their emotions. Maybe this ex was toxic because they use their emotions in order to control you. I see here within the Queen of Rings that they're very interested in finances and making money, and maybe they were just more interested in themselves, and that's what drove you apart. But during personal year 3, they're going to try and make a comeback. Now it's of course up to you whether you decide to let them back into your life or not. Next up, we've got the Ace of Wands. Now within the Ace of Wands, I can see here that within this personal year 3, you're definitely going to a lot more parties. You're definitely having a lot more fun during this personal year cycle of yours. And I see that within personal year number 3, that your zest for life and your creativity is at an all-time high. It's at a pinnacle. So it's important for you to use this, especially in the arts, such as with like writing, self-expression. This may also push you more into the public eye. And this is especially helpful if you're an artist or a creator who would kind of live off of being in a more public position. So know here in the Ace of Wands that this is the year in which you're most likely to break through. And I see here within the Spirit of Rings that you're going to have to learn everything from the ground up, the whole industry, how you can properly negotiate on this type of level. Because when you do break through, there's going to all of a sudden be different types of deals and different sums of money and things like that involved. So I see here within the Spirit of Rings that it's important that you read, that you learn, that you educate yourself, that you remain productive as much as you can be, and to not forget the endurance that it took to get to this point, even after things are all of a sudden like blowing up in the best way possible. Next up, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is a major arcana card within the tarot, and it actually corresponds to the planet Jupiter. And this is a sign of luck as well as growth and elevation overall. Let's zoom in again on the Wheel of Fortune for you. There we go. So in your personal year cycle 3, you're leveling up, and with this being connected to Jupiter, we've got a planet here that is all about growth, right? So Jupiter is about rapid, expansive growth, also growth in different directions when it comes to higher education. So learning more about your craft and perfecting it. And overall, just if you are a business owner, seeing your business grow rapidly in personal year 3 is no surprise. It is very common and very likely. And if you work in a company, you may see that company expanding and growing and just overall changing things within the entire dynamic and system to accommodate this newfound growth. Next up, we've got the 10 of Cups. So this is a super favorable card when it comes to your personal year 3, as it shows fulfillment within relationships, both romantic as well as platonic ones, and it is a year of completion, which also means that you're going to have to kind of look towards what comes next, right? So you're going to have to figure out what you want next for yourself. If you've gotten commitment and now you're looking to start a family, that's like the next question, right? But if you're single and all you wanted was a romantic life that makes you feel at ease and happy, then of course, once you have that, maybe the next step for you is focusing on your career. Maybe for you, just finding that person is what personal year 3 is all about. I see here within the 7 of Swords that personal year 3 will definitely also have some people feeling a little bit jealous about your accomplishments and all of the things that you're able to experience and do. So try to keep your moves private. Try to only share with people who you know you can let your guard down with, because in personal year 3, you may feel more inclined to share, to speak, because this is a more social year within your 9-year cycles in life. But it's important that you don't end up trusting the wrong people. The 2 of Swords shows me that the best way for you to move forward and decide who gets to know about your personal life and who doesn't is to follow your intuition. As we see here, it's like your vision is blurry and tied. There are different paths and opportunities for you to choose, but you just simply have to go with the one that feels right in your gut, okay? Because no one's going to come to you and tell you this is the right path, this is the right decision to make. You're going to have to make decisions all by yourself. So have fun, but also don't lose sight of your goals, because you're going to be a lot more accepted in different social circles, and that can sometimes kind of blur your vision, or that can sometimes make you feel like some people are more trustworthy than they are just because they're giving you more attention than usual. I see here within the Chariot for you, which is, by the way, astrologically correspondent to Cancer, that we've got protective energy around you, but also you protecting your friends and family and spending a lot of time with them. And I see here that self-expression when it comes to your relationships is heightened in this personal year 3. And I see here that this is also a year of rational thinking just kind of being thrown out the door, okay? If you want something, you want it, and you're going to go for it. You're not going to feel the need to explain, which shows a lot of empowerment from your side for your personal year 3, but it can also definitely foster a little bit of friction in a professional setting because not everybody understands that. So try to be watchful when it comes to your self-expression and whom you trust with that type of vibe and with your intuition and your feelings. Next up, we've got Cleanse. So personal year number 3, you're going to declutter and get rid of some things that have accumulated maybe even over decades, okay? Things that you haven't used for years. I'm not talking just a couple months or a year or 2. I'm talking about like childhood things that you haven't touched in forever. I see some deep kind of cleansing vibe here, some deep getting rid of things that have just been in your way for a long time. time, and the beetroot shows me that you're super passionate about this. You're super passionate about just freeing up your space so you can make room for new things and get rid of the old. And furthermore, here within the beetroot, you're not only passionate about that, but we also have Leo here as a symbol within the beetroot, and Leo corresponds to fire, right? Leo corresponds to the fixed kind of vibe of the zodiac. Now, Leo is a fixed sign, which means that it is very determined, it's very stable, and I can see here that that's what you want to create. You want to create an environment and a surrounding that feels stable, that feels like you can work in, where you're not constantly distracted. Next up, we've got the apple for you. So in the apple, we have this kind of vibe of continuance. We have this vibe of continuity of things that have started. So in your personal year 3, there's not going to be any huge changes when it comes to your jobs, or any huge changes if you're already in a committed relationship or a marriage. Okay, this is not a year in which you're going to change these types of connections. This is a year in which something that's good and that's been working is going to peacefully continue and carry on. Then we've got Charity as well as Krishna. So within Krishna, I can see you trusting your spiritual guidance and you being loved unconditionally in your personal year 3. Your personal year 3 shows that your commitment will be recognized. So if you're working in a firm or a company, receiving a promotion is not unlikely. And I also see here within Charity that asking for things will have you on the receiving end. So if you're not happy with your pay, just ask for more. Okay, that is the best advice that I have for your personal year 3. Don't be afraid or ashamed to ask for what you're worth, because you'd be surprised at how easily people agree to your suggestions in your personal year 3, as you have a very outgoing, agreeable type of vibe and personality to you during this personal year of yours. Now, all of my beautiful souls who are going through their personal year 3, leave a little red apple emoji below to let me and others know that this is the cycle you're going through, that you made it to the end of this reading, and that you enjoyed it, that you like this type of very interactive and personalized content here on my YouTube channel. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up while you're down there and subscribe. I'd like to thank you for being here and spending this divine time and space with me, and I can't wait to speak to you during one of my upcoming Pick a Card tarot readings. Hello, all my beautiful souls going through a personal year 4. Welcome to this even more personalized part of your reading, where we're going to figure out exactly what's coming towards you during your personal year 4. I hope that you're enjoying this type of super interactive, innovative content. Give this video a thumbs up if you're into it, and leave a little star emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know. But now let's get into your prediction, shall we? Wow, this is great. We've got the Chariot as well as the Two of Cups. Now you may be asking yourself, Vanessa, why is this great? Well, let me tell you. The personal year 4 is actually a year of starting relationships and building them, and the Two of Cups is just that. It is a card of the tarot that communicates that you will get into a serious relationship, you will build on that, and the Chariot shows us here that there is real direction in this relationship. This is not just one of those relationships or situationships where you're like, yeah, let's see where it goes, let's see what happens. No, all of my personal year number 4s. There is direction. You know where you're going. It is clear from you and your person what you want out of this connection and this relationships, and compromises are not going to be made with the things that are all about your morals and values and what you want in the long term in your romantic life. I see here within the Fool that your personal year 4 is actually bringing completely new beginnings when it comes to relationships. So if you're single, know that this is most likely the year of the start of a big commitment, or someone with whom you'll be with for a really long time and potentially get married to. And if you are in a committed relationship already, then I want you to know here within the Fool that there is the freedom to start something new, like relocate with your partner, start a family, add on to your family. It doesn't even have to be human babies. It could be four-legged babies. You get the gist. Do know here within the Fool that there is so much opportunity within personal year 4. And this is a period of time for you to focus on creating solid foundations in your life. And simplicity is key. So all of my beautiful souls in their personal year 4, try not to overcomplicate or overthink things. Next up, we've got the Ace of Swords. I see an epiphany. I see a mental breakthrough. I see a lot of focus. So that makes a lot of sense for your personal year 4, because this is a year in which it's important for you to take charge of your health, and your physical exercise plays an important role. So making sure that you are going on hikes, runs, moving your body, going to the gym, doing something fun, dancing. I mean, however you decide to engage in physical activity, do know here that it also kind of clears and cleanses your mind, and it's especially important during this cycle of your life. And this is a time to be grounded and level-headed, as there will be opportunities that you can go for and you can take. But in order to ensure that you are actually going for good investments and business deals during this year in your life, you have to be on point when it comes to your mental and physical health. Next up, we've got the Shadow. So the Shadow definitely represents some sort of materialism and self-reflection when it comes to your connection to things and the earthly realms, maybe brands, just overall materialism and the earthly realm and the shadow that comes with it, like purchasing things or wanting things in order to impress others or to fit in. I see that there's a lot of self-reflection and contemplation that's going on around this topic for you during personal year 4, and I can see that you want to stay organized in order to accomplish your goals, and laziness is not an option, but at the same time, you're redirecting from wanting financial freedom to impress others to wanting it just for yourself, just to create stability in your life that you can enjoy, not in order to make others feel as though you fit in or you have similar goals. You're actually living more independence, and you're becoming way more mature during this personal year cycle. Now, the Seven of Cups shows us that for your personal year 4, you've got a lot of options and opportunities also in love. Okay, so this is a personal year in which a lot of people often like break up with partners and immediately find someone new. So this is a year in which people often break up with those they've been with for a long time. They get divorced, they end deep connections, and then they enter a new one and immediately get into commitments that can last a lifetime, such as children, such as purchasing a home together, relocating together. So this is definitely a year in which you take charge of your love life. And I see that this is also definitely a year in which you are trying to create memories and adjusting anything that you feel is not bringing you stability. So if you've been with someone for a long time, or you've been in a job for a while, you've got a family member where you just don't feel like you can count on the situation, you're going to switch it out for something a lot more stable. Because comfort, yes, that's what's important during this stage of your life, during personal year 4. And you're not compromising on comfort. You're not compromising on getting the things that you want. And I'm really proud of you for that. I want you to know that that just shows that you value yourself and that you're upholding your standards, and no one's going to force you to compromise those. I see that you trust that even if there are some people who reject this idea, even if there are some situations in which you are being told that, oh, that's too much, that's too high maintenance, you can expect that of other people, you know that if you can expect things out of yourself and you compare that to what people have expected from you in relationships, in the workplace. Sometimes people expect the world from others, but when you all of a sudden expect things from them, they're like, oh, well, you can't really count on someone like that. You can't really expect that from another person. But, you know, it works when they're expecting the world from you. And I see here that you're definitely holding up a mirror to a lot of people, and people don't like that. And if they walk out of your life, you don't really care. Like, you trust that they will be replaced by someone who will actually be able to give you reciprocity in the connection and the relationship. Next up, we've got confidence. So I see here the personal year 4 is a year of finding and building lasting confidence, really deep-rooted confidence, which makes a lot of sense as we spoke about this being a year of stability, of building, of laying solid foundations. It's almost like pouring the concrete of the construct that is your life, right? When you're building a house that's meant to last for a long time, first you pour the concrete. That's what I see that this personal year represents for you, as well as a lot of growth, a lot of internal growth, a lot of introspection. I see that in connectivity to the Ace of Swords as well. And with this type of focus, mental focus and awareness, come breakthroughs and these types of spiritual enlightenment moments that you maybe did not even expect or see coming, and sinking into this space and simply taking it in. It's almost like a hit, a wave of emotion, of different feelings that are just coming towards you, crashing onto you. And I see here within the P that it's important that you also communicate, because you will have times of retreating from the world. You will have times of going into hermit mode during personal year 4, and maybe you've already been experiencing this inexplicable need to be alone and to disconnect from others, to just not even really talk to other people. And I want you to definitely also just understand that this is very normal for personal year 4, that communication is something that you maybe enjoy, but just in smaller doses. And I see here within the lemon that you're like cleansing your palette, you're cleansing the energies around you. You don't want to constantly be infiltrated with other people's energies, emotions, and thoughts and belief system. You just want for things to be clean and clear so you can think, so you can plan your next steps forward. So you're definitely protective over your energetic space and frequency in this personal year 4. It's like you can feel it in your gut that this is an important year for building. And here within the star, I can see that you've got a lot of hope for moving forward in your personal year 4, because you have more of a plan of what to do next. And during personal year 4 is a great time for you to not only kind of write that plan and your goals down, but also to execute on this plan. The 9 of Cups shows me here that we've got the wish card. Basically, this is a really favorable card of the tarot, as this is a card that signifies your manifestations coming true, and that's what we've got for your personal year 4. So anything that you basically hoped or wished for is going to be closer than ever during personal year 4. Of course, you're still going to have to be diligent and work for it, and you're still going to have to put your best foot forward, but the energy and the vibe is all in your favor. So make the most of it and truly enjoy this time in your life. Take time to plan, take time to look for things that are viable without too many risks. So think projects or business dealings, and know that hard work is often boring, okay? It's often going to feel as though it's repetitive and you're doing the same thing over and over again. But during your personal year 4, the accumulation of this hard work that you're doing over and over again, that you are constantly in repetition of, it's just going to be such exponential growth and expansion. It's really worth sticking to this for the delayed gratification. So all of my beautiful souls within their personal year 4, I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it insightful. Don't forget that star emoji below, and of course to give this video a thumbs up to let me and the YouTube multiverse know that you loved these readings and that you like this very innovative, interactive approach that I take on my channel. Thank you so much for being here and for spending this magical time and space with me, and I can't wait to speak to you in one of my upcoming pick a card predictions. Hello, all my gorgeous personal year number fives. How are you doing? I hope that you're just as excited as I am to get into what's going on during your personal year number five, what to look out for, and what the overall vibe of this personal year is all about, what your cycle is going through right now. So, first up, we've got the Seven of Cups as well as the Fool. So, in your personal year number five, we are starting afresh as the Fool is the very first card of the major arcana within the tarot. This card corresponds to the number 0, and astrologically, it is represented by Uranus, which is actually the planet of the unusual and the unexpected. So there's a lot coming towards you in this personal year that you absolutely never thought would happen. Now, the Seven of Cups shows me that you've got choices, though. So it's not just things that are happening for you or to you. There's also a lot of choosing and opportunities that are coming your way during this personal year five. And this is a year that is going to teach you to be a little bit more flexible and to let go of things that might be impeding your progress and growth. So it's important for you to keep a positive outlook and attitude throughout this personal year five. Now, the Four of Cups shows me here that there's also a lot of contemplating, a lot of thinking, a lot of reevaluation that you're doing, and you're questioning what you want to do moving forward. Personal year five is all about taking advantage of the new connections and friends that are in your life. But I do also see that you're maybe comparing some of your struggles and the things that you're going through to what others are going through. And that's making you feel as though, maybe I can optimize my life in some ways. Maybe I can be more productive, effective. Maybe I can take more time for myself, or maybe I can spend a little bit more time believing in some of the goals that I have. The Three of Cups here shows me that new friendships and connections coming into your life during this personal year five cycle are going to be healthy ones. They're going to be ones where you can celebrate. These are connections that make you happy, that are filled with compassion. And I see that people coming into your life during this personal year cycle are actually people who are going to make this year and this cycle easier, not people who are going to stress you out, not people who are going to bring drama into your life. I definitely see a lot of partying, maybe even a little too much partying, honestly, during personal year five, as there's definitely this little sense of temperance in the Three of Cups, of not drinking too much, not doing anything too irresponsible. I see here within the Wheel of Fortune that there are some great opportunities that have been set into motion, and if you don't want to miss out on them, you have to be alert. And if you're constantly kind of intoxicated or you're constantly out and about partying, then you won't be able to put your best foot forward in your career. So bear in mind here that there are some opportunities for financial gain and for you to do things professionally that you won't necessarily see or be well equipped for if you're spending too much time having fun and just being with friends and family. There is definitely a time and place for that, don't get me wrong. But don't get too carried away. And also, if you're in a situation where a lover makes you feel really infatuated, if you're like in the honeymoon phase with someone, make sure that you take enough steps back to focus on your own personal goals, because the person who's going to be with you always is you, all of my beautiful souls of personal year number five. So don't forget that. There's no guarantee that anyone else will stay with you or there for you for the rest of your life. Now, the Eight of Swords does show me here that mentally there is some breaking out of molds that needs to be done. I can see here that you have to let go of some stress and anxiety that has been keeping you in a space of inaction, okay? That has been keeping you in a space of inertia, of being afraid to move forward, to stop procrastinating. There are also, by the way, lots of books that can help you quit procrastination. That's definitely also something I'm looking into. I am personally in a personal year number five, all of my beautiful souls in 2022. And this is definitely a cycle that we need to break together. As I see here in the Six of Swords, that the more you combat procrastination and the fears that are attached to this procrastination, the more you will find that there is just smooth sailing within your life, that everything just works out so much more easily and with so much less stress. Now, if for some reason you don't want to combat anxiety, maybe you also got to ask yourself whether a little bit of stress is somehow giving you excitement. If that is so, how can you swap out the excitement that you receive from stress and anxiety for maybe healthier excitement, such as excitement to travel more, to go on more adventures, to go on like hikes, to try new hobbies? Maybe you can swap out day-to-day anxiety, such as phone calls, bills, work things, for anxiety, or shall I say excitement, as both of those emotions are so close to one another, that is actually inspiring and a bit more healthy and positive. I see here within the Princess of Wands that you've got so many great ideas in this personal cycle 5, that it would be really a pity and a shame for you to just allow procrastination to take over and to stop you from seeing through what these ideas could do for your life in the long run, because the right idea when it comes to your career can definitely be life-changing, but you have to be unshakable in this mindset that you can do anything. I see here within Hope that there's a lot of love and acceptance here during your personal year 5, and I want you to know that toward the end of the year, you may look back on your personal cycle 5 and think to yourself, where did the year go? This is most likely the quickest year of all of the year cycles that there are from number 1 through 9. Cycle 5 is usually the one that goes by so quickly in the blink of an eye. So it's important for you to keep your energies working together on the same path so you don't miss any important opportunities and situations that are going on. And of course, also prioritize celebrations that are once in a lifetime things of friends and family, such as weddings, baby showers, things like that. Know here within Lord Shiva that this is about honoring your inner force. I can see that steps are being given to you, and now's the time for you to dance with the universe, so to say, to shed old skin. We've got this cobra snake around Lord Shiva's neck. I'm not sure if you can see. I'll zoom in right here for you. Leave a little snake emoji below in the comment section, by the way, to let me and others know that you're in personal year number 5, or this is just the year you're looking at and interested in. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up too, to let me and others know that you're enjoying it. So I do see here that honoring your inner force, shedding old skin, and allowing for the universe to guide you with your next steps is what your personal year 5 is all about. Next up, we've got Jwal Cool, which shows us here that you're on an important path that just takes one step at a time towards happiness, okay? There are certain things that you can't speed up and that you can't change. And sometimes discipline, pain, hurt, anger, sometimes all of these things are just part of getting to happiness. You can't always kind of circumvent that. You can't always avoid that. Sometimes you simply need to go through really tough times to come out the other end feeling energized. I see here within the Strength card that during your personal year 5, you've got all the strength that you need in order to combat difficulties and challenges, in order to overcome any types of fears. But it's important that you find that strength within and that you don't distract yourself so much with kind of external temptation. So those could be substances, but just think about even scrolling through reels on Instagram or TikTok or YouTube for a long time. All of a sudden, an hour has passed or something, and you've spent a lot of time, energy, and mental space on this kind of like distraction. So try to stay away from that, especially during personal year 5, as this is already a year that goes by so quickly. You want to make sure you're not wasting your time. I see here in the Hermit that actually shutting out distractions and unnecessary things as much as possible is the best thing you can do for yourself during your personal cycle 5, and just being like in hermit mode If you could disconnect, honestly, like social media for a year, that is what is recommended for personal year 5 by your guides and just generally in numerology, as it's not really doing anything for you other than fostering comparison. I see here within the Knight of Cups that you have to take personal responsibility of your emotions during personal year 5, and that there are also a lot of other people around you who aren't just yes men, who are very much into self-reflection and being real and honest. And these are the type of people with whom you're being encouraged to spend time with. Everyone else, take a step away from, take a step back from. Next up, we've got the Magician, which corresponds to the number 1. This is a major arcana card within the tarot. If you'd like to learn more about tarot, I have a How to Become a Great Tarot Reader course where you can learn all about the cards. It is linked below on bowlife.com, so you can check it out if you want. I want you to understand here within the Magician, which actually corresponds astrologically to Mercury, that communication is really important, especially in the areas of your life where you feel as though you need a little bit more help. Okay, so if you need more help when it comes to love, try to communicate to a loved one and a friend that you're going through a tough time. If you feel as though you're slacking in school or so, try to figure out ways in which you can communicate with a teacher or a fellow student. If work is really stressing you out, do know here that you've got the tools that you need to refocus and center yourself and optimize again, but you have to speak up. That's an important thing of personal year 5. So do know here that personal year 5 is definitely a year of new directions and personal growth, which comes very easily. So be prepared for a year of expanding your horizon, of broadening your knowledge, and also a lot of travels often happen within the personal year 5. So leave a little airplane emoji below in the comment section if you made it to the end of your highly personalized reading. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel to never miss another tarot and oracle reading video. I hope that you enjoyed this format and this fun interactive way of figuring out what's coming towards you during this year of interest. Know that I'm sending you so much love, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming Pick a Card tarot readings. Hello, all of my beautiful souls with personal year 6. Welcome to your personalized reading so we can figure out everything that's coming towards you during your personal year 6. This theme for year 6 is to focus on your personal responsibilities, family, service to others, and your well-being overall. This is a very sociable year that you're in, and it is one where you're being called to spend time nurturing relationships that make you feel good. But let's move into your reading to see what else that we've got. We've got the 6 of Cups, which of course corresponds to the number 6 in the year that you're currently in, as well as the Priestess. So let's start off with the 6 of Cups, shall we? The 6 of Cups is like the perfect embodiment of what your personal year 6 stands for, which is serenity, healing, togetherness, and victory in personal relationships. I see here within the Priestess that it's going to become very clear to you what friends and family members and relationships are worth fighting for, and which ones you may want to distance yourself from. This is also a personal year in which a solidification of a romantic relationship can happen. So often marriages and also engagements happen within personal year 6s, and this is a time in which you know that you have to take care of yourself first before you can help or support anyone else. And it's really important for you to also remind yourself that while things do go well in personal year 6s on average in your personal life, you have to stay on track of your mental health so that you don't take all of this amazing energy for granted and all of a sudden things go left or go south. Next up, we've got the Temperance card. The Temperance card shows me that everything is happening in moderation, which is actually why the personal year 6 is such a victorious one, because you feel like it's easier to avoid temptation of overdoing things, be it partying or other substances or behavioral patterns. And if you have some sort of compulsive disorder or some sort of mental health issue that you're dealing with, know here that usually within personal year 6, it's a little bit easier to not succumb to those cravings and to be strong, to stand up for yourself, and also to heal from the inside out. The 7 of Swords shows me here that your personal year 6 will come with some confusion, because all of a sudden it feels like you were working so hard all these years to be better, to do better, to get healthier. And all of a sudden during personal year 6, out of nowhere, things just work out amazingly well for you. Out of nowhere, you are healthier, you're more in tune with your body, mind, and soul. And you ask yourself, why did I put all this work in all of these years when all I had to do was get into personal year 6? So it's almost like you're in a situation where you're, of course, grateful that things are going well, but you're also, in a sense, kind of baffled and a little bit annoyed that it couldn't happen at an earlier stage, especially when you put in a lot of work. It's like you didn't have the same results like you have during personal year 6. But try to focus on the positives, try to focus on the amazing energy that personal year 6 brings. And also know here within the Ace of Swords that there are a lot of these little breakthroughs that you're going through. So breakthroughs when it comes to forgiveness, forgiving yourself and others for some things that happened in your past and maybe your childhood that are typically unforgivable, but you're choosing to not carry that weight and that burden with you because you just value your time and your energy and you don't want to give that to anyone or any situation. I see here that we've got some magic manifesting for you as well, and a lot of goals and dreams are becoming a reality as you stay focused. So personal year 6 is a year of focus for you when it comes to goals that you have, especially goals in your personal life, especially goals when it comes to relationships and personal connections. That's what personal year 6 is all about. And here within Saint Germain, we also have you moving beyond any drama. So friends who just bring drama into your life will be cut off. I can see that you're creating your own path and you're making room for good energy. So that's why you're not afraid to block someone, to cut someone off, to ghost a person, because you know that the more you kind of remove that energy for your life, the more you can actually make space for some new, really amazing people and things to happen. I found that to be true at an earlier stage in my life too. A few years ago, I had some friends that always called me with drama, with something to complain about, and I just had to slowly distance myself and remove myself from that situation. And then I made space for friends who are amazing, who of course can talk to me about challenges and what they're going through, but who also bring some amazing positivity as well as ambition into the relationship and the connection. Next up, we've got the White Eagle. Now, the White Eagle shows me that connecting with your lineage is often the case during personal year 6, and also learning a lot about your ancestors, spending a lot of time with grandparents if you can, or parents, and just being in your own homeland. So it's not surprising if during personal year 6 you feel the urge to go back to your roots. So if you are, for example, of some sort of Asian or African descent, wanting to travel to where you're actually from, or visiting parents and family in that area. If you've got an origin from South America or Europe, maybe planning to visit different types of monuments, maybe even make it a whole thing where you can go with your family. I definitely see in the White Eagle that you're fascinated by your past and where you're from, your roots during your personal year cycle 6. Diana shows me that you're focusing your intention on getting to know yourself and thinking about what you desire, and also kind of just expecting the best possible outcome. Your confidence is increasing, whereas in the past, maybe you would have been afraid to go somewhere by yourself or alone or to try something new. I see that during your personal year 7, you actually have a lot of trust and belief in yourself and that you're safe. And you should definitely also kind of like watch out for feeling a little bit too trustful of other people, because at the end of the day, you still never know. So make sure that you are listening to your gut feeling. Next up, we've got isolation. So I see here that within your personal year 6, you're isolating yourself and your lineage from everyone else's. So while you may have a certain identity when it comes to your heritage, you may say, okay, I'm American, or I'm Japanese, I'm Nigerian, or I'm Italian. I mean, whatever it is, I see here that rather than just seeing yourself as that, I see that you're actually isolating your roots specifically from other people's, because you're not just from one area on this planet. Like, your family has its very own history and its very own roots and story, and a story of how it came to be, and you want to know that. You don't just want to know the general thing about a country and its origin and its history. I see here that you're being called to be cautious on this path, because it can definitely awaken some age-old trauma, and it can definitely kind of make you feel hurt and make you feel away, especially if your background or your heritage, your family and ancestors had to go through a lot of trials and tribulations, and you are now living, walking, breathing, working in the land of people who possibly harmed and mistreated your ancestors. It can create a sense of bitterness and a sense of very harsh energy and a feeling of hostility. So you are definitely being called to be cautious when it comes to this and how it affects your present being. But nevertheless, don't be afraid of the mystery, because the more we uncover these mysteries and also kind of sink into a space of exploring them, it definitely is something that is intriguing, that is so educational, and that can also grow compassion and forgiveness, because you understand that we are in a different time and space where it's not healthy for you to hold on to baggage from your parents, grandparents, great-grandparents, and their ancestors, but instead to learn to appreciate where you are and to appreciate the growth that can be done in this day and age. I mean, it is probably the best time in history to be a human being, because you can learn anything you want to learn through the internet. All of the information is there. You don't need access to a library. You don't have to pay for a lot of information and things that you can just learn and see. And I see here within the P that communication with friends and family is something that can keep things going so positively for you during your personal year 6. So send lots of text messages, engage in a lot of calls, keep up with the people you care most about, and also know that this is the year in which you finally get like an exciting personal makeover that just makes you feel super rejuvenated. And that could even entail some sort of cosmetic procedures that you've been saving for or you've been thinking about, and you're going to be so happy with that if you invest in that during your personal year 6. It doesn't have to be anything crazy. It's just something you've always desired. I see that in the cause lettuce, whether it be changing your hair color or getting some sort of treatment done for your skin to lessen the appearance of discoloration, of certain type of scars. Maybe it is a treatment that you're going through just in order to decrease pain that you've been feeling in your body or in your joints. I definitely see that there's some sort of health, wellness, and maybe even aesthetic procedure during your personal year 6 that's going to make you feel as though this is part of your personal makeover and glow up, and it was the right decision because it was well thought out and you did it for yourself. So all of my beautiful souls within personal year 6, I hope that you enjoyed this super interactive, fun reading, leave a little plant emoji below in the comment section. You know, that one that people use when they want to say they're plant-based or vegan, that little plant emoji. Leave that below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you received your full reading, and that you enjoyed the super personalized, highly interactive style of tarot reading. Thank you so much for being here, for spending this divine time and space with me. I love you, my beautiful little unicorn family, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming Pick a Card Tarot readings. Hello, all of my beautiful personal year 7s. How are you doing? I'm happy that you made it to this point, that you were able to calculate your personal year. So now let's get into it. Let's figure out what's happening for you during your personal year 7. This is on average a personal year of great reflection and of finding yourself taking time to renew your spiritual beliefs, to figure out what you want to do with your life in a very deep and introspective type of way. I see here within the 9 of Swords that when it comes to your personal year 7, you are definitely in a space where you want to optimize. Okay, we also have the King of Wands that popped into your reading for you, my beautiful 7s. So here within this combination, I can see that you have to take the lead of where you're going in order to get to success. Otherwise, here the 9 of Swords shows me that there's definitely some anxiety and some anguish that's going on, some sort of mental conflict in the personal year 7 if you try to fight what personal year 7 stands for. So in this year, it's all about letting things happen, letting introspection take place, and reminding yourself that a personal year 7 is one that gets more exciting and easier as it goes along, and that you're going to learn the difference between being lonely and alone. This is a very, very significant year for you. Next up, we've got the Justice card. Now, in the tarot, the Justice card is a card of karmic balance. Justice does also correspond to the Libra within its astrological side, and I want you to know here within Justice that this is a symbol of diplomacy. So taking time to meditate, to actually have a practice that you do every single day, is not unusual in the personal year 7. Becoming interested in things such as yoga, meditation, introspection, reading a lot, these are all very common things for you to do within personal year 7, and also kind of breaking through illusions. That's what I see here in the Tower, like watching a lot of documentaries about companies and things that are going on in this world that are deceiving, where people are being exploited, really. And I see here within the Tower that you are uncovering these truths, and it's really illuminating how you feel about the world and the businesses that you support and the people whom you follow. So this is a very eye-opening personal year for you, and one that you're definitely going to grow and mature through. Now, the 3 of Cups shows me a lot of celebration, which makes sense, as I do see here that this year is one where alone time is celebrated, but you can also bring this newfound self-awareness and all of this new knowledge into your relationships and into social settings, so you'll always have something to talk about. As this is a year of such personal growth and an increase in your knowledge base, you're like the perfect party guest to have, which is so funny because during your personal year 7, you're probably the least likely to be going out a lot. You're more in a space of introspection. However, people want to constantly hang out with you and take you different places. I see here in the Chariot that a lot of people will be suggesting to go on trips and adventures together. And I do see here within the Chariot that you're very flattered, but you kind of have your own agenda and your own things that you want to pursue and do during your personal year 7. So saying no is something that you do more often during this personal year, as you understand that there are a lot of things things that you're going through and figuring out that you just need time for. And saying no to something else is saying yes to yourself. You're surrendering to that thought. That's what I see here for all of my personal year 7s. You're surrendering to this understanding of putting yourself first and how to put yourself first. I see here within space that personal year 7 does just that. It provides you with a lot of space, a lot of time for reflection, for introspection. This is like the perfect phase and cycle for introverts as it brings you peace. I don't know if you saw how this popped right out of the pile of cards, but it did. So do know here that peace is a big part of this personal cycle of yours, this personal year cycle. Leave a dove emoji below in the comment section to further manifest more peace into your life, and also to represent the personal year 7, to let me and others know that this is what you're going through and that it resonates with you. Don't forget to thumbs up this video if you're finding it helpful and healing and relaxing. Next up, we've got rest. So with peace, introspection, and space, as well as surrendering, does also come time for rest, and you're taking this time. You're shamelessly sleeping 8-9 hours a night, however much you need to recuperate and regain your strength. And being in your personal year 7 just allows you to be happy with whatever happens. Here, the tomato shows me that this is actually a fantastic year for love, especially romantic love, because you're not pushing for anything, you're not putting pressure on anything, you're simply just being. And I see here within the onion that someone is feeling super protective over you because you're such a peaceful person. I see that others have this urge to protect you, to be there for you. The onion also has this symbol here of earth, and earth is a very grounded type of energy, which makes a lot of sense given the fact that we've got so much peace, rest, space, and serenity in your personal year 7. It's also important here in your alone time that you take time to figure out the true meaning of your life, as also this introspectiveness and this profound energy about you is going to draw others to you. I see within murky waters that this is actually a really positive year of personal development and of just a you that is super attractive, because people love the mystery in you. People love the fact that you're introspective, that you have more to offer than meets the eye, and that it takes time to get to know you. And upside down, I can see that for you, maybe personal year 7 seems like a little bit of a slow year or a very lonely year, but actually, if you look at it from a different viewpoint and a different angle, this is a year of profound internal change and of a type of revolution on a soul level that will leave you different for the next 9 cycles, for the next decade of your life, until you go through another personal year cycle 7. So notice that this is a very important time for you to get in tune with who you are at the core, as this will impact your relationships for what will be almost the next decade, and to remind yourself not to compare what you're doing and going through to others. There are perfect moments and perfect times in just being by yourself and just taking time to simply be in your own zone and in your own head. You don't have to be on a fancy vacation or in a fancy spot. You don't have to compare yourself to what other people are doing, especially on social media, because while it may look great on the outside, if there is no internal peace, then there is no enjoyment, really. And I see here with an endless serendipity that personal year 7 actually shows you how much value is in the little things. It brings you a lot of unexpected serendipity, a lot of unexpected abundance and joy. And I see here within emotional baggage that you are unpacking and leaving behind what you no longer need. So the personal year 7 is a transformative one for you, my beautiful souls. This is one that brings you not only peace of mind, but also lets you leave behind things that no longer serve you. And this is something that draws others to you, because you will just have this inexplicable vibe and energy that oozes confidence, that oozes the fact that you've done a lot of the inner work. So don't take this personal year cycle for granted, even though it may seem quote unquote less exciting. Know that this is a very profound one that's going to shape the rest of the next decade for you. So give it the time, effort, and energy and space that it deserves, because that ultimately means you're giving yourself time and space and energy. So all of my beautiful souls within personal year number 7, I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope that you found this interactive experience fun. Feel free to leave that dove emoji below in the comment section if you haven't already, to represent and manifest. And of course, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to push this out into the YouTube multiverse. I'd like to thank you for sharing this magical time and space with me, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming Pick a Card tarot readings. Hello, all my beautiful personal year 8s, and welcome to your reading. I hope that you're just excited as I am to figure out what's going on in your personal year 8 and what's coming towards you. So let's get straight into your reading. The personal year 8 is a very special one, as this is one in which you will reap the benefits of all of your hard work, and you'll attain power and leadership in many different positions in your life. So first up, we've got magic manifesting. So this really does correspond to you going through a personal year 8. And I want you to know here that your dreams, visions, and goals are becoming a reality, and you've got to stay focused right now, because in Saint Germain, I see that alongside all the positives, we've also got some karma that's releasing, and that can sometimes be a bit of a distraction, but you've got to move beyond drama, because sometimes when you've got some past life karma releasing, anxiety can come up. There can be some drama within your family and friend settings, but it's important for you to create your own path that kind of walks just next to the drama. So you're not ignoring people when feelings come up or when they feel as though there's something they want to discuss, but at the same time you're not actively engaging in any drama, but instead you're making room for good energy, and you're just that person who gives great advice but who's never actually involved in any drama. I see here within Lady Venus that truth is being revealed, and deep insights coming in the form of downloads and just intuitive knowing and messages is definitely in correspondence to the number 8, as this is a year of major decisions and accomplishments, and I see that you making the right choices has everything to do with truths being revealed and you acting on those truths. So not waiting for someone to tell you how they feel about you, whether it's a boss or someone you're romantically interested in, but just seeing how they act and what they do, and allowing your actions to be led from a place of taking that seriously, right? Of not misinterpreting, but just focusing on how someone acts rather than what they say. I see here within Freya that there is a beginning within every ending, of course, and illusions are being revealed and released during your personal year 8. So that means that anything that comes to an end is meant to come to an end. And I can see here that this personal year 8 is one in which you will be extremely busy, and it's such a prosperous one. We've got the World as well as the Two of Swords. The World is one of the most favorable cards of the tarot. This is a card of achievement, of that ultimate feeling of fulfillment and feeling like this is a year that went amazingly well for you. It also astrologically corresponds to Saturn, and Saturn is a planet of structure. It's a planet of defining your life, of responsibility and organization, as well as authority. And I do see here within the Two of Swords that any type of indecisiveness that you may have had is being tackled and being kind of taken away in the sense of no longer procrastinating your indecision, but just removing it from the plane altogether. Next up in the Three of Cups, I can see the best time during your personal year 8. I see here that you're taking notice of your strengths and you're definitely in the spotlight. So at parties and get-togethers, people notice you a lot more than during other personal year cycles, and I see that a lot of attention is on you, which may make you feel uncomfortable at first, but try to kind of settle into this space and rest into it, as there are cycles in which you will have more attention on you and cycles during which you feel less noticed and less special. Maybe you would wish that you had that spark, that energy that you have during personal year 8. So enjoy every personal year and every cycle for what it is and what it has to offer. Next up, we've got the Seven of Rings. Now in the Seven of Rings, I can see some big investments that are taking place during personal year 8. And I do see here that you have to do your due diligence to make sure that you're investing in the right areas. The Seven of Rings shows me that it is so important for you to do your research, to talk to people, to use this personal year 8 energy in order to take the lead and make sure that you're making financially sound decisions, as the Six of Wands shows me the ability to greatly advance in your social standing and hierarchy, and to actually really create generational wealth and recognition too. The Six of Wands shows me that, of course, it's one step at a time during this personal year 8, but the steps that you're taking are so consistent that by the end of personal year 8, you will have come so far, you will have accomplished so much when you actually look back on the situation, that you think to yourself, wow, how did this even all happen in just one personal year? I see here within the Three of Swords that the personal year 8 is not one in which you want to start new romantic relationships that are wonky, that require a lot of time and a lot of emotional investment. Things just need to work, romantically speaking, or they may end up in some heartache and heartbreak. You don't have time for anyone who plays games, as once again, we've got the Three of Cups, but now from the Pastel Journey Tarot deck that, by the way, you guys, is restocking very soon. I know a lot of you have pre-ordered it and have made sure that you will receive your copy. And for all of you who have not, make sure that you pre-order your deck, as it's probably going to be here within the next 1.5 to 2 months or so. As you guys know, it's gone into reprint. So in the Three of Cups, coming back to your reading, we've got you focusing on people who are a good time, celebrating with friends and family, and really, romantically speaking, you need someone who fits right into that spot, not someone who isolates you or takes you away from these positive experiences. Now, the Six of Swords shows me that you're moving from a place of indecisiveness, of feeling disconnected mentally, to a place of being able to relax more, and also asking yourself why you stressed out so much all these years, because you just think to yourself that was totally not necessary. If you just tap into your confidence, you can kind of overcome any challenge and obstacle. The Knight of Pentacles shows me here that when it comes to your personal year 8, this personal year is extremely busy, and opportunities in business must be seized and you have to act on them. That's what I see in the Knight of Pentacles. It's all about that action when it comes to business. That's what your personal year 8 is about. So be fearless, be bold, all of my beautiful souls and babies of the zodiac, and know that this is your personal year of professional accomplishment, as well as building a solid type of foundation and repertoire for the future. So all of my beautiful personal year 8s, I hope that you enjoyed this reading and that you found it fun and insightful. Leave a little horse emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you were here, that you received the reading, and like like this video while you're down there to push it through the YouTube multiverse so more people can discover their personal year numbers and enjoy these readings. I hope that you're doing amazing. Know that I'm sending you so much love. Don't forget that all of my handmade crystal rings can be found below in the description box, so feel free to check my new collection out. These don't disappoint. They are of the highest grade and quality. These crystals are ethically sourced, and you can of course check out so many different crystals, way more than the ones I'm wearing today. So make sure you check that all out below in the description box. Thank you for being here and for spending this divine time and space with me, and I'll speak to you during one of my upcoming pick a card readings. Hello, all of my personal year 9s, and welcome to your reading about everything that's going on in this personal year of yours. The personal year cycle 9 is the final year of the 9-year cycle. This is a year of completion and endings, but you probably know that from part 1 of the video that I created where I explained to you how you can calculate your personal year number. So now let's get into figuring out everything that's coming towards you during this personal year 9. We've got Mercury as well as the Holy Spirit. Let's move into it. I'm so excited, all my personal year 9s. You're such an exciting personal year number. I'll start off with Mercury. I see here that for Mercury, your personal year number 9 is all about communication, getting a weight off your chest, speaking up with love, being heard, and if someone hurt you or did something that really wasn't cool, this is a personal year in which you want to just close off old chapters. So that means that you're not starting anything new, you're handling and finishing old business. And one thing about this personal year is that it's a time to let go of the people, places, and things from the past that have been holding you back. I see here within the Holy Spirit that it is actually a time for you to expect miracles, for you to expect situations that were bothering you to solve themselves or to kind of just make themselves be processed and go away. As I can see here that you're allowing yourself to do some internal and external cleaning up of situations, and even though you're maybe not in particular dealing with something, you just overall tying up loose ends, getting rid of things and people and places that you no longer need is going to encourage everything else that isn't in alignment with the life you're creating to kind of evaporate and slowly trickle out of your life. So this is a very, very important and profound year of your life. And one thing about your personal year 9 is that you need to know that letting go, it can be very difficult, but you will realize once you restart your 9-year cycle back at personal year 1 that it was so necessary and so helpful to you to let go of what didn't serve you. Within the Wheel of Fortune, I can see here that there's a lot of luck that's on your side. There's growth that's happening, and having faith is important. The Wheel of Fortune also signifies that things that have been put into motion and started by you can be finished, can be kind of put to rest, put to bed during your personal year 9. The 10 of Swords is another card that signifies any headaches, any legal troubles, any bills, any debts just being paid off, being put to rest, finally moving on and no longer having to deal with these toxic situations. Let's move a little further into your reading, shall we? So we've got the 2 of Swords. Within the 2 of Swords, I can see for you that when it comes to your personal year 9, decisions need to be made intuitively. You can't wait for someone to give you the right answer. You need to get out there and make your decisions based on your gut feeling. And furthermore, within the 10 of Wands, I can see the passion projects are coming to an end as well. So you're starting new hobbies, you're finishing up things that you've started in the past, or you're just kind of okay with not pursuing them anymore. And that's fine. If you, for example, always wanted to make music or create art, and you're realizing that it's just not happening for you, that you would rather put your efforts into a blog or writing or dancing dancing or teaching or whatever it is, you're finding peace in the fact that you tried to do it, and maybe it's not for you to invest all your time in it, and you're happy to start something new that you will maybe feel more inspired to complete in the long run. After all, life isn't about doing everything perfectly and completing everything that you start. Sometimes you also need to realize that something isn't worth the headache, the anxiety, you overthinking, and just simply do something else that you feel more inspired to do. Now, the Princess of Swords shows me here that you're allowing yourself to let burdens be lifted off of your shoulders. The Princess of Swords shows me that if people can help you during this personal year 9, don't get in their way, don't stand in their way, just get out of the way and let them help you, let them do what they can, as you too are someone who loves to kind of tap into that humanitarian side of yourself. So if someone else is doing something that can greatly help you and it's easy for them, let them lead the way, as the Eight of Wands shows me really quick progressions and forward movement. So if you're, for example, moving and you have a friend who owns a moving company or is just really strong and organized and can help you move, don't say no if they're offering their help. Take their help. If you have a friend who's really great at business or who knows a lot about math, and you have this exam that's coming up or this big business project and decision that you need to tend to, allow for that person to give you advice. That doesn't make you look weak or needy or like you're asking of anything. Know here with your personal year 9 that that actually shows that you're gracious enough to accept help, that your ego isn't in the way of that. I see here within the apple that your personal year 9 is going to continue whichever energy that you close it off with. So it's so important that you work on personal year 9 being one that shows that you're ready for greatness, that shows that you're open to collaborating with other people, that you're not going to let your ego get in the way as often as you possibly can, and that you want a continuance of all the positives that you've left in your life, and minus the negatives, of course, that you have pushed out during your personal year 9. I see here within the orange that personal year 9 brings a lot of new zest and energy into your life as well. The orange actually corresponds to Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign that's super grounded, and I see here that energy in context to being grounded, right, to not being too high strung, is like that perfect combination in order to close off your 9-year cycle successfully, triumphantly. So know that your personal year 9 being the final year of your 9-year cycles that you go through throughout your life over and over again until the day that you kind of transcend into the spiritual realm, or however you believe that life on planet Earth in this body ends. I definitely see here that you go through these cycles, and that this completion within your personal year 9, it needs to be a successful one. I see here within being open to receiving that that is what the universe is constantly trying to communicate to you. Don't feel bad for receiving, whether it is a compliment, a material gift, whether it is financial help, whether it is advice. Be open to receiving. It's so important for you to be cool with that. It's so important for you to learn that if someone wants to do something for you, it actually gives them satisfaction. It's actually not something that makes them feel negatively towards you. People being able to give is actually a beautiful thing, not only for the recipient, but also for the one who is doing the giving. And I see here within prioritizing reflection is that when you kind of shrug off compliments, if you shrug off gifts and people giving to you, that can sometimes signify an underlying need for you to work on your self-love, for you to work on reminding yourself that you're so worthy. And if you're not the one on the receiving end, someone else will be happy to receive. It might as well be you, all of my beautiful personal year number 9s. Let's just be real and honest here. So you might as well just enjoy the attention and the fact that in this personal year number, you are on the receiving receiving end, because there are many times where you're just the giver. It's okay to sometimes lean back and receive. So all of my beautiful personal year number 9s, leave a little cake emoji below in the comment section to let me and others know that you received this reading. This is like your first little mantra to receive. This is the first manifestation of you receiving. Leave a cake emoji below to let me and others know that you're learning to receive, that you're learning to be okay with it, that you're manifesting your worthiness as well. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me and others know that you enjoyed it. And of course, to let the YouTube multiverse know that this is a video that needs to be seen and heard. So I'd like to thank you for spending this magical time and space with me. Know that I'm sending you so much love, my personal year number 9s, and I can't wait to connect with you during one of my upcoming predictions.